Hey Lance, I want to respond to your message about foreigners in the workplace. You wrote and asked me if how are foreigners treated in the Japanese workplace over here? Is there any separation? And it's a tough one for me to answer because my Japanese isn't very good, and I'm under the impression that if you speak Japanese well, especially if you can read and write in Japanese, and basically carry your own weight here, then you're much more. It's much easier to acclimate and to basically be integrated into the system. But I believe that under all circumstances, you are still an outsider, that there's always that distinction. The Japanese love to have those distinctions, and it doesn't just apply to us foreigners as well. Every level of structure in the organization. If you ever watch businessmen and women get together in Japan, and the very first thing they do is they hand off their business cards, and they actually study the business cards. They actually read the business cards. It's not just like we do in the West. Oh, here's your business card, great, and stuff it in your shirt. They actually hold it, and they actually hold onto it for a long time, and they'll study it. And the reason that they're doing that is that they need to know the relative positions of all the people in the meeting that are going on, so that they know how to address them. That's true not only in meetings when you're meeting people from another company, but very much so in your own organization as well. So as foreigners, we're basically we're foreigners, and I don't think that even if you were spoke Japanese perfectly, I still think that there would be a degree of that as well. But how are you treated in terms of in a comprehensive manner? Very well. I mean, and you can actually take that in a couple of ways. In one, you can say that, hey, everybody in Japan is really nice. Another way you can look at it is that Japanese are especially nice to guests who are AKA outsiders. And if you watch how they interact with one another in the workplace, sometimes they're nice, they're polite and all, but vicious isn't the word I mean to use. They're ruthless, maybe a little bit. It's not as open as it is in the West, where we can be really pretty tough with one another sometimes. But in terms of expectations and requirements, and especially with the biting sense of obligation and a sense of guilt, Japanese are masters of applying guilt towards as a remedy to solutions. And that's one of the problems we have as foreigners, is we don't always catch on to their guilt messages, and we're just kind of obliviously going on our own way. And sometimes they don't know how to communicate with us otherwise. They can't they don't know how to communicate with us on our own terms, and that heightens the disparity between our groups, so to speak. But so you can be a part of the group if you learn the Japanese to read and write and speak Japanese well. But you'll always be an outsider. It's just the way it is. Even Lafcadio Hearn, I'm sure, who basically became a Japanese. I think he was a citizen. He was always an outsider, but especially in his time, boy, where outsider was really an outsider then. Okay, well, thanks for writing, Lance. I'm sorry I was so long in getting back to you. I hope this video is helpful. Take care. Bye bye.